So I thought this would be a good backdrop to my video today. I'm at Townhead Wells in Northampton. They used to actually use this water for drinking, I think, before the Second World War. It's been a horse trough for as long as I can remember. I'd be really interested to know if you could actually drink this water without it actually harming you. We were always told not to drink it, but I'm not 100% sure one way or the other. Probably won't harm anybody. But if you actually come to Anston and park at the welfare, you can actually have a walk round Anston Stones. It's well worth a walk round that. Really good place to have a walk round. I used to walk round it every night when I lived at Anston. I'm now down at Rochabbey, now I live at Dinnington. But I thought it'd be a really good backdrop to a video I'm going to do in the future, or a promotion for it. I'm going to do it with Mark Bannerman. Now it's about Kate Josephs. Now Kate Josephs was the actual Taskmaster General for Covid-19 at 10 Downing Street. Person who locked us down during lockdown, but when she actually left the job during another lockdown, she actually went to a party. But we don't know how many parties they went to and didn't get found out about either, do we? Whether they were telling us to do one thing while they flaunted the guidelines, not law, really. Anyway, Kate Josephs, now the Chief Executive of Sheffield City Council, and for some reason she doesn't want anybody to know who her husband is. She keeps it very quiet. Now, Mark Bannerman found some information from a declaration of interest at South Yorkshire Mayoral, where she said her husband worked for HM Treasury, or it said partner spouse worked for HM Treasury, and he was actually fiscal director. But when I contacted South Yorkshire Mayoral on a freedom of information, and said that something wasn't quite right, they actually said she no longer was on the board at South Yorkshire Mayoral, and they deleted that entry off their website. But Mark Bannerman actually kept that information. So I think she last did work with South Yorkshire Mayoral on education in about March 2023, and if that's the case, her actual declaration of interest were out of date, because a partner spouse took up his new job in August of 2022. Now, normally you give people a right to a private life, but when you're in a very high public position like her, and your husband's in a very high public position, I think that secrecy, you know, or right to freedom sort of disappears a little bit. So I did a freedom of information request to Sheffield City Council asking for a declaration of interest. I'm not happy with the declaration, because I don't feel that it's as transparent as councillors and also the leader of the council, who have to declare a different set of interests, which is actually on public record, actually on their website. But it's slightly different, the declaration that the executive have to do, and it's not actually visible to the public unless you ask for it through a freedom of information request like I've done. So I now know who Kate Josephs' partner spouse is, and I'm going to do a video with Mark Bannerman. I think it'll probably be sometime next week, and Mark will put it on his YouTube channel. But I think it's really interesting people know about this. Now, her husband did work for the IMF in Washington, and Kate Josephs also had a job in Washington as well. And probably other people can probably see why she was a bit reluctant for people to know who her partner spouse was. But it did cause some confusion, because number one is she says Mez, Joseph, but it isn't, it's actually Mrs. Josephs. And the other thing is, we got confused because when we looked in March 2023 at the fiscal director, because that was when her last declaration was, it was actually a female. So that's where we got the confusion from it, but I believe it's because she didn't update a declaration of interest from in 2022 in August, when her husband changed his job. So I've now gone back to Sheffield City Council asking for them to confirm when she made a declaration about her husband's role. So that's it. There'll be further information coming out in Mark Vanneman's video, but I thought this would just get you tempted with a bit of a starter. But I've had to do a bit of a write-up for this because it's quite a lot of information, and I won't actually read from it as a speech, but I will refer to it because I've got put a lot of information on there. Mark's got the same information, so Mark's really good at doing interviews, coaxing people to say the right thing. So I look forward to doing this interview with Mark Vanneman, and I hope you find it interesting.